eModels.co.uk. Make something awesome.
Hello, I'm Chris. This is Gross Models for eModels.co.uk. This is part 6 of the build of the Tamiya 1/6 scale motorcycle. This is the exhaust system, putting on the exhaust pipe and accompanying bits onto the engine. Hope you enjoy it. See you soon. As ever, I'll get the parts off the sprue and get the first bits ready. I'll be doing the radiators separately, so I'll get those done and cut off and then get ready with the exhaust system. So yeah, I'll get the first lot of bits ready and then show you what I've got. See you in a moment. Right, before I get to the radiator, I've just got to do the Sprocket Guard, which is these 7 pieces and some screws. Back of this is actually like the continuation of a like mud guard inside there. And then the other bits go on the outside, so I'm going to get those primed and painted up first and then get them done, and then I'll be able to get into the radiator proper, just so you're not missing any bits. There's just a few little bits that I'm going to put on before I get the radiator bits together, so see you in a bit. That's all those bits painted, primed and painted obviously. I've sorted out the screws that I need for each bit and put them next to each bit so I can sort of figure out what I'm doing here. Following the instructions for the Sprocket Guard, I've got to put some on this side first and then a couple of bits on the other side. So first up we've got what looks like this bit, goes over in there. So once again, covering over bits that I've done and made look nice, we now get rid of them and the bike falls over. Alright, so there's 2 screw holes on there. There's one inside here and one at the top there. So let's try and manipulate that into the right place. There we go, just about there. Right, now I can't get to that screw hole because of this bit. That's great. Why have they told me to do that then? Right, that bit, was that glued in? Yes, that was glued in place. Right, I'm going to have to bend that slightly out of the way to get that first bit in. So let's get the screw that I need. Bike down gently, and then see, yeah, it's just down there. So it's only a little bit over, but strange. All the other parts have been done nicely. Right, I'm going to get a few of these put on off camera and then come back to you. Alright, this other little cover has actually got a screw that goes into it, and it says leave 3mm across here, which I've done, and then that seems to just go on here, and the screw is actually just touching on the edge here. So I think that's just because it's held away. It's to hold it without having to worry about gluing an extra bit on there for some reason, but there we go. The other bit that I've just put on here didn't have to really, just bend that very slightly out of the way, so it wasn't as bad as I first thought it was going to be. So let's get a couple more screws in here. That'll be this side done, then I'll get the other bits on the other side, and then we'll be able to start on the radiator. There we go, that's that in there. Right, then we've got the one other large piece that goes, where's that, through onto there by the looks of it. Oh yes, that actually engages over there and covers that quite nicely. So last screw in there. I do like the contrast of the NATO black against the metallic black. It's all nice. Right, I'll get the last couple of bits on the other side. One of them's exactly the same as that was that side, and then this is basically the duplicate of this bit for the other side, so I'll get them done for you and then show you what's up with the one more bit. The continuation of the mud guard's got to go inside there. That's just glued in, so again, nothing much to show there. Then I'll show you the radiator bits when I get them off the sprue. That's all the bits for the left radiator. They haven't been painted or primed yet. Just going to dry fit them together to see how it's all going to look and what I need to actually paint. So that bit goes on there, that over there, that goes into there, and that goes on the other side, that way up. Sort of like that, and that cover goes over that way round, like that, and then when that goes onto the bike, that goes onto there, just like that. So the inside of that is clear, that's how I hold that. Right, that one is more tricky. What should I hold? Pretty much the inside of that I can put some glue tack on and use that to hold that. Again, pretty much one of these tags will do for that one. The inside of that, and one of the pegs on there, and anything inside that one will be fine for those. Right, then we've got the pipe that's got to be flat black with gloss aluminium and aluminium on that end there, the bracket. So I'll paint that in with, I'll brush paint those, but that one I'll spray as well. So yeah, I'll get them all primed and painted up and then put back together again, and then basically do the same with the other side. Actually, I'll put all these aside. The other side is almost exactly the same but reversed, so I'll get these put up and in one place and then get the other half done and then paint them all together. And then we're on to a couple more pipes, and then the big what are we talking, big exhaust pipe which goes together with a couple of caps on it, and that goes down one side of the bike. And that's going to be the end of this episode. So a couple of tricky bits and a couple of bigger bits, and then we're done. Right, so I'll get the other one cut apart, put painted, primed and painted, then put together, and I'll show you fitting them onto the bike. So see you in a bit. Right, that's the radiators both done. Slight differences between the two of them. Main obvious one, this one's got a cap on the top which needs a decal on it, and there's one decal for one other bit as well. So I've cut them out, just off camera obviously, there you go. I've cut them out, just need to put them in some water and let them come off the backings, and then I'll be able to put them where they need to go. So that's that one dunked in some water. Let's do that one as well. Just give it a few seconds just to soak into the paper and leave that out of the way to finish itself off. So this one needs to go on the top of this cap. It doesn't matter which way round because the cap obviously rotates as long as it's level with two of the things. So let's see, hopefully just about on camera yet. Not got any movement to that yet. Might not have left it. Ah, there you go, just started. So let's get that over where it needs to be. Move the paper out of the way, and that will be the decal in the right place. There you go, it's just about central on there. Hope you can just about see that. Just rotate it a touch just to get it lined up with the edge pieces there. Happy with that. I'll get some micro set on that in a moment. The other one is just to go across the middle here. Again, doesn't show me a close-up of it. It's just got to be on, let's see again. Yeah, basically between the two screws on this panel here. And that just says dual clutch transmission. Yeah, that's moving there now. Get it so it's not actually stuck on my finger. There you go. And again, just manoeuvre that a little bit, get that lined up properly. And then get some micro set, the blue stuff, with a brush. Sorry, I'm wasting a lot of space over here. Let's move that this way a bit. There we go. Right, let's get that on the first one I did first. This just helps it set down. I'm sure you all know about decals anyway, but there you go. This will just help it. I'll put some of the red micro set, or micro sol is the red one. I'll get some of that on there in a moment as well. Let this dry first. Now while that's on there, that gives me a chance to just get this shifted ever so slightly. Try and get those words horizontal on the piece. I think that's just about that. Don't know if they're coming out on camera with the light and shadow and everything. Anyway, that's about there. So I'll let those dry and get the micro sol on there. But for now, I can put that aside and get the first side of this on. I'm not going to show both of them because, as I say, they're both the same, just the other way around. So I've got the other one of these to put on, which is going to use these two screws. 1, 2, and one more screw for this other bit, which is black. I've glossed this bit a little bit. It's meant to be the semi-gloss black, and then chrome around the edge as well. So let's get that blue tack off of there. Everything out the way. Right, now which side is this? This is the left side, so the other way round. So I've got to turn the entire bike round to get to where I need to get. Let's move everything back out the way again. Right, I might have to move the camera to see what I'm doing here, because I don't want to lay the bike down to do this again. Where is it going to go? Onto this here. Right, let's have a move around a bit. That should do that. Right, onto this front piece here. According to the instructions, I put this in first with those two screws, and then the other bit goes on the other way round. So that goes that way round. I didn't really show you that. That's aluminium with the NATO black over this bit. So that goes into there. That's where that central panel needs to go. Let me rotate this round and bring it down a little bit further. Hopefully that'll be so you can see what's going on. Right, I've got two screw holes here which are going to go into here, and this is the post that the other bit, the last bit, will go onto. So that should, there we go, just fits nicely into there. Make sure I'm not trapping any of these hoses in place. Now I'll get my screwdriver and the first screw. So we're going to do this left-handed. Just get that in there a couple of turns to make sure it's in the right place. And I can get the other one on as well. Underneath. Feels like that's biting into something. Yep, That's that there. Then I can go back and tighten the top one. Nice. And then the last bit uses the other screw with the light so you can see what I'm doing here. There you go. This one needs to go through there. There you go. And that goes in there, while the bit itself just sits in that little gap. I don't know what that is, just says it's part of the radiator, so again I'm sure someone will tell me. Not that I mind. There we go, that's that one. I'll get the other one on much the same, and then there's some hoses to put on as well, which I've done. You probably saw there in the background there. Move this back out of the way so you can see. Oh, knocking these screws out of the way that I'm going to need for that bit. Yeah, there's some hoses that have got various chrome and aluminium bits on them, and these couple have been slightly glossed in the middle. It's meant to be a gloss black with aluminium either end and black and chromes and everything. They've got to feed in behind and around, so I'm not going to be able to do that on camera, I don't think, because I need to see exactly where I'm going. So I mean having the bike in various angles, but yeah, I'll get the last few bits of that on and then show you what I'm starting with the exhaust system. Right, that's the radiators and the accompanying pipes fitted. You can't actually see the pipes, they will have to feed in through the back and round and down over here and through behind the covers, and it was fun trying to get them in, but they've all been fixed in place now, so yeah, all getting there. That's that. Next up is the exhaust pipe, which is a couple of long chrome bits with a silencer on it. Then there's a couple more. I'll show you what I'm looking at rather than just talking. There you go. Right, we've got the exhaust pipe, obviously, to go around there, a couple of bits with the silencer on it, and then an exhaust pipe cover, it goes on there as well. There's one bit that's in NATO. Then there's a couple of little connectors, two more tubes because I haven't got enough on there apparently already, but a few more of them do actually loop around and connect in, and it gives me a little picture of where they've all got to go now. So yeah, next up I'll get some more bits ready, get them painted and primed up, ready to go. I'm just sorting out the parts for the exhaust, and I thought I'd show you some of the chrome bits. These I've already managed to get a fingerprint on because they're just so shiny. I've cut them off the sprue, but they need to be denubbed properly. Now these are actually what they call undergated, so that the nub actually doesn't fit onto the side of the plastic, it actually fits underneath, so when you remove the nubs you actually do it from the inside, so it should leave a nicer finish on the outside. Same as these two bits here, if I can find them without dropping them. Yeah, so assuming I've done these, say, good enough, and the chroming isn't coming off of the edges, I can get away without having to remove the chrome and replate, because this finish is basically lovely, and I'm pretty sure that I'd never get it looking as good. So from where that's going to fit onto the piece, I'm happy with the edge of that. So I still need to do the top one up here, obviously. So I'm going to get away without having to paint or chrome these. I do need to remove my fingerprints from them as I'm doing it. But all in all, a little rough edge there. that is pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to get the rest of these, I say, denubbed and ready to go, and then I'll show you them all together and then get them painted. And that's those bits done. I've glued together, say, bits of the exhaust and the silencer. Yes, the silencer, according to the instruction manual anyway. Not been too worried about the seam lines on these because they're going to be covered by the shiny panels anyway. But giving them a sand down to get them nicer anyway. Right, this obviously goes together somewhat. How does that go? Like that. Eventually, but needs to be painted like metallic silver. Yeah, actually that would be a convenient place to hold that while I'm painting this. This bit's going to be in a different colour to the rest, so I need to get it all primed, then mask and paint this bit and that obviously as well. The chrome obviously is staying well out of the way of all the paint and priming because I don't need that any less shiny, but the little bits obviously I do need to do as well, so I'll get them all primed up and then start on the painting. As with most of this kit, it's been primed in black now. Still got the chrome, shiny and chrome, so I'll move that back out of the way again when I start painting. That bit I've done in a slight gloss, as it's meant to be a semi-gloss black. Now I need to do that in chrome, which I've got ready. These two in NATO black, which I've got ready. And those two, apart from this middle section, needs to be done in gunship grey. The other sides need to be done in black and then metallic silver over the top. So I've got my metallic silver and my gunship grey. So just deciding whether I'm going to do the grey first and then silver over the top. Don't want to mask it twice, so yeah, I think I'll do the grey, and then I can mark. It doesn't matter if I get grey over the black, then I can still put the silver over the top of that. So I'll do the grey now, and then when that's dry I can mask that off and then do the silver and everything else. Right, I'll get it all done and then a couple of bits assembled and come back to you. Alright, I've put a few bits of this together, but I do need to put this outside cover over here, but I need to get rid of my fingerprints from the chrome before I do that, so I've got a little sort of lint free cloth that I can just use to polish them up a little bit. Again, most of it's going to be covered by exterior pieces anyway, so it doesn't make a lot of difference, but it's nice to keep it looking quite nice. Right, that's the next bit. No, that's not the next bit. The next bit is another big chrome bit, which is glued in place on here. So I'll get some extra thin in that line, which is the bit that holds it in place, and then get that on there somewhere. Where is it? There it is. There you go. You feel that locate in place. Let's give that a couple of seconds, and then get rid of my fingerprints from there as well. Bits of this is going to be covered, but again, I'll be able to polish up the outside bit once I've finished, but keep it looking quite nice. Right, now that bit goes on the end here, and it's got a couple of screws to hold that in place, which are both the same. They're these tiny ones. So yeah, that's where I'm getting fingerprints all over this again, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment, as long as I get the bits that I can't get to polish inside. So there we go. Let's get those two in. There you go. Again, clean it up as I go. Right, next up we've got Putting that onto the large exhaust. I wasn't happy with the seam lines I had left on this, so I actually stripped it down and reprimed it again. I sanded it and primed it, but I'm happier with it now. That goes on there just like that. So let's get some glue again on here and on the inside of there as well. There you go, that's that one. Making sure it's the right way round, yep. Right, then next up we've got the two other chrome pieces go onto the outside here, just like that, and the other one down the bottom there, so I'll get those glued on. Then there's the other outside piece that goes over this piece, so I'll get those screwed on. You don't need to see all of that. Then it's got to be attached to the thing, and I've got to figure out where the pipes go. So I'll be back in a sec. Well, that's that piece assembled. Oh, lots of shiny chrome. Right, I've got to figure out where it goes on the bike, and then get two more tubes attached, and the little bit that apparently I've got to put other tubes in and reroute them. So let me get that assembled and show you where it's going to go. Right, it's actually very easy. The ends of these go into the two intakes here. Let's put it back on the stand again. And then if I can get those in there, the rest of it just rotates up to about there. One screw there and one screw down there. Obviously those I'm going to do off camera because I can't really get the angle right to do them up while I'm here. And then I've just got to figure out where the pipes will have to route, and that will be that for this. So I'll get that done, get the wires and the pipes where they need to be, and then show you it finished. And there we have it so far. That's the exhaust put on. It's a shiny. It goes into the front there, and the radiators on the front there as well. It's all starting to really come together and look like a substantial piece of machinery. Right, that's it for this episode. Next episode will be the front of the bike, the front forks, front wheel. So that'll be quite interesting. Hope you've enjoyed watching this. As ever, hope you subscribe to the channel and get the next bit and watch all the previous parts so far, and any other builds that I've been doing in between. As ever, thanks for watching, and see you next time.